With limitless movies at their fingertips, three men face the daunting task of making their voices heard, one podcast at a time. Destiny is calling. Will you accept the charges? Movie Nights.
Greetings and welcome to the Movie Nights.
Hello.
It's our first video episode.
Did you just say how?
Is that hello?
Oh, I'm about to say...
Way to ruin the intro already, Dan!
No, it's not ruined. I'm just making fun of you, that's all.
It's a good intro. Come on, it's our first time. We're scared.
How?
Yeah, you know what, Dan? Lone Ranger hasn't come out yet, you racist.
Well, white guy's playing the Indians. So
How?
I think we're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, this week we went to go see After Earth, the new M. Night Shyamalan picture.
The Jaden Smith vehicle.
Should I spoil the surprise ending? It sucked.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
There wasn't a twist unless you were expecting it to be good.
The twist at the end is that he wants to work with his mom and not his dad because her job isn't as scary. Even though he didn't
Spent the whole movie, like,
doing all that
proving
shit.
himself.
Yeah,
and
then he lost having fear, like...
He became a Jedi and decided he didn't want to be a Jedi no more.
Fucking
Right.
stupid.
Alright, give us the IMDb, Bobby. If you would.
I'm gonna try to pronounce these names right. They're goofy and stupid, so forgive me.
By goofy and stupid, you mean ethnic?
Have you ever heard
Yeah,
of a
racist.
kid named Katai?
Okay, fair enough. I thought you were talking about Jaden Smith.
No.
I don't know that name. That's one of them black names.
Lyle?
How dare you?
Lyle Smaya?
Speaking of Will Smith, just go back to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, bring that back for a reunion or something.
By the way, before you even read that, when we got to the credits, I couldn't even remember what the kid's fucking name was, and I don't remember how it's pronounced either. Like, the whole movie, I was watching it going, did you know that his first name was, like, Thrash or some shit?
What?
I think, not the kid, but Will Smith's name was, like, Crash or...
No. No.
What is it?
They kept calling him by his last name. It was like...
But it's Rage
Yeah,
or
Rage.
something.
Yeah, his last name is Rage. His first name is Cypher.
Cypher, okay. I'm like, hey, I'm Cypher, bitch, and this is my kid, Kate Rage.
Yeah, his
Kate.
I just wanted them to call him
This is Rage
Katana.
Against Machine, her cousin.
Anyway, let me read this shit. A crash landing leaves Katai, Rage, and his father Cypher stranded on Earth. 1,000 years after events force humanity's escape. With Cypher injured, Katai must embark on a perilous journey to signal for help. I mean, that is what it is, but I mean, that's literally all it is.
That's the entire movie.
The movie opens with one of those flashbacks. Yeah, I guess it would be.
Well, it's one of those things where we're a quarter way into the movie, and that's what's happening.
10 minutes into the movie.
Well, okay, before anything was actually happening,
Right.
like that was, he's in. This is the part of the movie that we'll get to eventually, but it looks like he's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So let's scroll back to when he wasn't in trouble.
And he actually wasn't in trouble at that spot. He was just like, well, you're going to be paralyzed for a while, buddy, so just kind of lay down. Great.
Right,
We'll
but it goes
get
back
there.
and they explain what happened to Earth, which was nothing. The same stuff that always happens. We polluted it and then we had to leave. Which, you can't use that excuse because if we have the technology to leave, we have the technology to fix it.
Yeah, that I didn't even really think about that. You know what? I wasn't even thinking about that because they obviously go somewhere and it's fine. Like Earth is so far back in history at this point that like they really tell us very little about Earth at all.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the part of the movie that I felt lied to me. The trailer lied and the movie lied because the movie I thought I was going to see was not this movie at all.
I expect...
Okay, well, let me...
Yeah, go ahead.
The line, everything on Earth is evolved or has evolved to kill humans.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm expecting violence, action, crazy shit to happen, but...
I'm expecting monkeys with
Yeah.
rocket boosters or something, or wings.
all you get is monkeys that get angry at you for throwing rocks at them.
And they chase after you. A bird.
It was
There's a
essentially
bird there.
the same thing that would happen to you if you were to go today to South
Just
America.
out into the jungle
Yeah.
or some shit. So
fuck, Australia. Go to Australia. That's this movie.
Only, this was a lush environment. This was a deciduous forest that he's hanging out in. Like, he was up in Montana or Colorado. I don't know where the fuck a forest is.
What I don't get is that the very beginning they do
North Dakota.
The backstory explaining what ghosting is, who these people are, why we left Earth, and after that little 5-minute spiel, and then think of the rest of the movie. If you cut that 5 minutes out, the movie explains it. You don't need that 5 minutes of exposition explaining shit that we don't need fucking explained. Because the history they gave of Earth wasn't enough to explain why we left, so just leave it alone as to we will never know why we left.
That would have made perfect sense. Like, it's so faded into history now we have spaceships that look like manta rays and stuff, and crazy swords that are...
Right, because if we fucked the planet to where we couldn't live on it anymore, then why are all these animals and plants still alive on a planet that we fucked that we couldn't live in?
And they're not mutants or anything. As far as I could tell, there was a super cobra, that had extra cobraness.
All it did was evolve to
kill that rat over there. It didn't even go after Jaden Smith.
Like, whatever, you're fine.
And because everything on Earth, and I'm waiting for like the swarm of birds that's gonna attack him. Oh, look at all those angry buffalo over there that's gonna recognize man for killing him for centuries and chase after him.
The first thing I saw was like, so humans leave and immediately buffalo come back?
Yeah.
Well, clearly we're the problem, guys. That's what that shot was.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what that shot was. Roving fields of buffalo and birds so full in the sky. Well, clearly the reason there aren't fucking birds everywhere and buffalo is because man. Because man did it. So now that we're gone...
White man did it. There's no... Yeah.
I know this is jumping like really far ahead, but the moment in the movie where I'm just like... was when that bird... Because you can fucking tell what's gonna happen. The bird's gonna save the day, help him from not freezing.
I honestly did not see that coming at all. Because I was like, no, that cannot be that stupid, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because in that scene, right, bird clearly wants to eat him and feed him to its young.
Because he tried to defend the young that didn't die.
Which, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. This is a planet that is trying to kill you. It's supposed to be. So he wakes up in a nest of a bird that tried to kill him. And then when these, I don't know, tiger monsters show up that were pretty much just lions, show up and start eating the things that were going to eat him had he not woken up.
Yeah.
He's like, leave them alone! Because A, tiger things speak English, and B, why do you give a shit? You don't even know what these things are.
Right.
They're not even cute.
Their mom just tried to kill you.
So
feed you to them.
Yeah.
So clearly also then, the bird speaks English and realizes that even though he failed in saving any of her young, it was his intent. Right. It was his intention.
And
that was so fucking stupid that I did not see the birds. I was like, oh, there's another human here. Somebody else survived and put him somewhere.
Yeah.
But no, I thought I knew, and I went like that because it's supposed to be, it took its own life to save him, and I'm just like, this is fucking terrible.
The bird found a warm spot to put him, but couldn't get to a warm spot?
I suppose. And
no, the warm spot was the bird. The bird sacrificed itself by laying on top of it.
Was that what that was?
Oh!
Yeah. So I'm like, the bird logically knows how to take care of this thing that is the same size as it, as a baby.
This puts a different spin on it altogether. The bird was actually coming back for his ass, and had him, and then froze to death, and fell asleep on him. And then he gets up and thanks it. Completely different scene now. I didn't even know that's what that was.
I don't think that's what it's supposed to mean.
It makes a lot more sense if that's what it was.
There was the in the beginning part where like you meet his family and everything, and it's just awkward because it's like dumb.
God, that
Oh,
scene.
yeah. Let's talk about it.
Well, first of all, Will Smith and Jaden are both using this ridiculous accent. And I don't know if it's supposed to be like Boston or tribal or a mixture of Caribbean and Boston or something, but they kept saying like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, fucking, let's go to a baseball game, sir.
No, sir.
You know, like, what are you... But no other words are like that.
Yeah.
Like, sir, I was gonna... You know, I ran a 10K in fucking 5 seconds, sir. Why are you talking like that?
Because this movie's fucking stupid.
Right. It gives you the idea of like, oh, it's a typical military family where the dad's never home and the kid is trying to be his dad. They don't tell you the backstory that he had a sister who died.
Well, except for they
It's
mentioned
interlaced whenever
they
Will Smith is feeling sleepy.
Yeah, they mentioned, he still is upset and takes he blames himself for so and so dying or so and so. They don't even say dying.
He blames his son.
Yeah, he blames, but the kid also blames himself. But we're like, who the fuck is that? And then you find out
What
later.
are you talking about? It was
That,
the dog.
like, it's backstory that they could have gave instead of the backstory that they gave us of Earth.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so for some reason, Will Smith's character is going on a training expedition, and after that it's retirement time.
See, this is
I was 2 weeks out of retirement and this shit.
this is the part of the movie that I kind of lost track of what the fuck was happening for a good 20 minutes. Because I don't know where they're going, or why they have the space monster with them.
So he's training.
It was a training.
It was a training op or some shit.
And then Jaden Smith kind of fucks everything up. And then
no, Jaden Smith didn't fuck up anything.
Well,
apparently the ship fucked something up.
It did, but he's like supposed to just sit there and take a nap. But then it's like, I'm gonna go wander off.
His actions, I thought, should have led to the crash, but they actually didn't.
No.
Yeah.
There was some sort of trap with like graviton shit that brings meteorites to your ship, and I'm like,
I don't understand.
Do they realize that in space you have a Z-axis and you don't
You
have
go up
to?
and down, yeah.
You're like, oh, there's an asteroid field in front of us. It could be booby trapped. Let's go around it. Nobody ever does that in fucking sci-fi space movies.
But that's where, like, Will Smith, like, uses his ring and touches it to the wall or whatever and somehow figures out that there's danger.
It's vibrating against it or something? I don't know.
So he goes to the cockpit and talks to the people with more weird accents.
Before that was when Jaden interacted with the monster.
With the space monster?
And this is where you didn't need to have that beginning explaining what ghosting was, because they explained it in this scene. And I'm like, that scene explained it perfect. You didn't need to go, my dad could do it. Because they also explained that, oh, he's a son. That guy's awesome. And it's like the entire time you're leading up to this guy's awesome. You don't need a scene explaining he's awesome when the movie does it.
I know this is totally unrelated, but this scene that I know that we won't talk about unless I bring it up right now needs to be talked about. How fucking stupid it was when they want him to blow out the candles. I
was gonna bring it up.
Oh, were you? Okay,
Yeah,
well, I'm sorry.
It goes into the same bullshit how they keep phasing in and out of what is happening in the movie.
I didn't even know if that would stick with you guys. I just wanted to punch everybody in the face when that fucking happened.
The thing that annoyed me the most about Shyamalan's direction of the space scenes is the whole time there's something happening on these screens that are explaining what's happening in the space, and he never fucking shows you. It's like always just on Will Smith, and you're like, oh, bad shit's happening, and you're like, what?
And
I'm like, oh, according to this screen, there's gravitron stuff happening. Why are we looking at Will Smith? Show the screen.
Another thing is, why was Jaden Smith the only one who was buckled up and everything and sitting down?
Everyone else is just dicking around.
Yeah.
Also, there were jump scares in this movie that like didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Like when because Jaden Smith sneaks into the room with the space monster egg, or whatever the fuck that was, right? And then a guy jumps out of nowhere.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
And the whole room is filled with guys.
Yeah, exactly. They're just over there, and they're fucking over there on a bench, just be like, why is that kid just going like into the room? Like, does he not see us? Like, hey, kid, you know. Was there?
Obviously, he's not a good ranger if he doesn't check his room first.
Oh, he's not even
Check
a
your
ranger.
corners, dude.
In the end, think about it. He never became a ranger. He's still a cadet because he doesn't want to fucking do it anymore. So what was the point? What is the point of this movie?
So that they become closer as father and son.
Great.
They trigger some kind of trap, I guess, and the meteorites hit the ship. Like, they're drawn to it.
Well, again, this is where I have no idea what the hell was happening.
Well, yeah, because they're
Will
using...
Smith is like, oh, something's happening. And then the guys with the strange accents are like, oh, this time I'm glad you're wrong, sir. And then something explodes, and they run into something.
He's like, that's an order.
And
Well, yeah, that's kind of the problem with the scene is they're not showing you any of the screens. They're not telling you anything. They're just using these words that are meant to confuse you. And then he makes mention of, I don't remember what they called their hyper jump.
oh, that was another thing. It was some sort of trans warp, I guess. Like, they pulled the Lost in Space kind of, we gotta jump to hyperspace to get the fuck out of the asteroid field or whatever.
Yeah, or something like that. It doesn't make them get out of your way, though, buddy.
Maybe it does, I don't know.
So
if it's trans warp, I guess.
they magically end up at Earth.
Yeah,
we don't know where they were in correlation to Earth, but it had to be light years away, because...
You would think.
The scene where he tells Jaden Smith where they are, and he's like, it's Earth. It's like, oh my god, no fucking way, you're on Earth? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it wasn't called After Earth, or the trailer wasn't like, it's Earth.
That's the big
scene,
twist.
that scene would have been, impactful.
Welcome back to Earth.
Yeah, that would have been the twist in this movie. If this movie was just called Outer Space with Will Smith and Jaden Smith, and then...
Well, they made that movie. It's called Planet of the Apes.
With Will Smith and Jaden Smith?
No, this one had Charlton Heston, and it was long ago.
Yeah, you find out it is Earth, right?
I think that's exactly why they didn't go with that idea.
He's reaching for you, and he does not need a commanding officer. He needs a father. Now go make some good memories together.
So we have to talk about the acting. Because the acting was fucking terrible in this piece of shit movie. Now, Will Smith comes off very stale, very boring, very robotic.
That's his character.
And, well, I think you can be an army guy without being a fucking robot.
Yeah, Arlie Army.
Yeah.
Well, or more than just shouting at people, too. But, I mean, I've never seen Will Smith this bland before. It'd be like, take everything that makes Will Smith good at what he does and strip it away and just use his name to be the driving force of this movie. It doesn't really make sense to me. If you're going to make Will Smith do things that isn't Will Smith, then why have Will Smith in the movie?
Well, you have the scenes where Jaden is at his class and he basically fails being a ranger for some reason. Like, they never showed why he fails on screen. Even though I think there's probably deleted scenes explaining it.
I think the point they were making is that he was an overconfident asshole who's like trying to outdo everybody.
Well, I remember seeing a scene in the trailer where he was rock climbing on the red rock.
Okay.
And like fell or something. Mm-hmm. And then because of that is why he failed, because he never listened to his leaders or something, and he avoided protocol. Like, I think he climbed it without protection or some shit. Well, I have to find the clip. I know I saw it.
It would have made sense to explain.
You confuse courage with recklessness. I'm not advancing you.
The most they did to explain was saying when he's running, it's like, it's not a race, and then he doesn't listen, keeps running further and further ahead of everybody.
But that's it.
They do bring that up more in the movie, but more as an effect of well, yeah, no wonder you shouldn't be a ranger, you piece of shit. Mm-hmm. What did Will Smith just tell you to do? Do not provoke the monkey. Yeah. Stay still. What does he immediately do? He picks up a rock, chucks it at a monkey. The monkey goes, hey, other monkeys, and then chases after him. And then everything Will Smith is telling him he doesn't do. So, well, fuck him then.
Right. There's no character development when it comes to who Jaden is, except for flashbacks of my sister died while I was in a bubble. And for Will Smith's character, the only character development we get is one time a thing stabbed me in the shoulder and I killed it.
I guess you could make the argument that once the comlink dies, he no longer has Will Smith as his backup, his backbone, so he has to figure the shit out himself.
Right.
But that's still not good enough for what... I mean, that isn't an excuse for...
The teacher who reprimands Jaden's character early on was very stale and bland and boring and are not very original. And it's just like every actor in this movie sucked at their job. And I don't know whether that's because of direction or because of...
Even I guarantee you it's direction, and I'll tell you why. Because even the extras in like, let's say the end of the movie where they're patching him back up, even the extras don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's like, okay, you guys are doctors. So I see them pick up a sponge and kind of do something and set one thing right here, and well... We're not supposed to be looking at them. We're supposed to be looking at Jaden and Will Smith. But the fact they're just doing weird, random things in the background...
Probably got some dude jerking off. They're not paying attention. No, but that brings me back onto the beginning then with like the acting and stuff. More with the dialogue. I can't blame the actress because I doubt this was her line. It's like, he doesn't need a leader or whatever. And then I'm like, she's going to say he needs a father. And that's exactly what she says. And I'm like, fucking stupid shit.
Well, to be fair, I think this movie might have been average if it had a different director.
Yeah. I see that this movie could have been something, and a couple of rewrites, a couple of different members on the special effects team.
And that's not just me jumping on the bandwagon of attacking
M. Night Shyamalan
is. There really is bad direction.
And he keeps proving himself more and more that he doesn't know what the hell to do with actors, he doesn't know what to do with a story.
Take this movie out of space, put Jaden Smith in a boot camp, and have Will Smith be like the higher up and shit. Boom.
Also,
better movie.
I was looking for it, but I've read a lot about people saying that this is a Scientology propaganda film. I made no connection.
I didn't get that at all. I don't know.
Teddy made that joke. I don't get it. I'll have to look into it.
I didn't notice any Thetans chasing after them.
I'm sure there might be, but we'd have to actually do research.
Maybe the big thing that he fights at the end, is that a Thetan? Is that what that is? Could it be Thetan? I don't know.
Who fucking knows?
But that doesn't make any sense, because are they just attacking it because it's story by Will Smith?
I don't know.
It's like...
I think this is a great way for him to spend time with his kids.
Yeah.
Just don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to make movies with your kid,
well, I think
cool.
Their acting might have been better if it was just a different direction.
We've seen it work before when Jaden Smith was younger. It works.
Yeah.
Just don't put them in a stupid movie.
But also, they robbed him of everything Jaden Smith is. I mean, even in The Karate Kid, he was like... just a stupid little kid, but he is a stupid little kid. So this one, he's, again, a robot. Oh, I'm a military guy, has to do everything. And the only thing they show you that he's reckless is that he doesn't pay attention. The kid's fucking Anakin Skywalker at this point, and it's annoying.
And he can fly. He can fly,
Yes.
really.
He's
like a squirrel.
Yeah.
Good for him.
The other thing that I'm annoyed with in these current movies is the CGI. The CGI and everything is starting to look even worse.
When they're in that big fucking cave before they take off, I couldn't think of anything but the Star Wars prequels, because it was not an actual set. They were clearly just in a big green room.
Yeah, like there was a guy in the background walking by holding some kind of tube thing, and I was immediately distracted because I could see an outline around him.
Exactly. When Jaden's on the cliff and you can see the background behind him, it all of a sudden looked like... When you first switch your TV over to HD, you know how everything looks weird? That's how it looked. Like, he's clearly... You can almost see the background, or the outline of him, and it was just...
When they went from real set to fake set, you could immediately tell. And it was just annoying. The creatures were very bland and fake. There just wasn't a lot
going on.
Yeah, where did $130 million go?
So shitty CGI.
Like, none of the cool things that could have been cool were... And I'm not punning there, but for some reason he says that the weather patterns on this planet are really violent. It goes from frozen at night.
Yeah, explain that, science.
And let's say that was happening. How then is there a fucking lush-ass forest during the day, and then it freezes at night? How is there anything alive anywhere?
I mean, hell, when in out like okay, that's essentially what they're describing. There is what it's like to live in the area we live in.
Yeah.
Because at nighttime, shit freezes, and like my mom has to bring in her plants so they don't freeze, or cover them in plastic so they don't get frozen dew on them.
You don't have dog houses around here.
Yeah, there's just a lot of holes, a lot of inconsistencies with like the science behind everything.
I think you said it correctly when this movie had a lot of potential. And even from the trailers, it looked like... I mean, I wasn't as poo-pooing it going into it as you were, and then within 5 minutes I wanted to turn it off. Can you switch this back over to... I at least enjoyed Star Trek. Projection guy.
Should go down without her, Captain.
Yeah, I'd mentioned basically if I had been the one who drove there and paid for it myself, if I had just gone by myself, I would have left probably 10 minutes in.
Yeah, it was just, you know, like I said, the trailer to the movie I thought I was going to see, it might have still been bad, but at least it wouldn't have been a lie, you know? And you're absolutely right, I think with a different director and somebody... who knows how to tell a story that doesn't have a wacky surprise ending. Because while he was doing that, it was fine, you know, but now when he's actually has... What's the last good thing he put out? I mean...
Unbreakable.
Maybe. And, I mean, I know people that liked Signs, but I still...
It's a mishmash, because there are people who hate Unbreakable. You know, there are people who like Signs. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends. I think the last really good one would have to be Sixth Sense.
You know, Lady in the Water was weird, but for some reason I still enjoyed that movie a little bit, just because it was just strange enough that... I don't know. The only story is I was trying to explain it to my brother. He's like, "'Cause what's that movie even about?" And I tried to explain it to him, and he goes... I don't know, it sounds really weird, but I kind of also want to see it. I'm like, well, we could watch it, we could laugh, it'll be fun, you know.
This is probably only the third or fourth of his movies I've seen, thankfully, so...
I've seen The Sixth Sense, I've seen
One.
The Village, Unbreakable,
2,
Signs,
3.
I did not see the Devil one.
Oh, I've seen that 4, so I've seen 5 now.
Well, does it count? Because like I know people who don't count on the list because he didn't direct it, he just wrote it.
Well, he still wrote it, and it was pretty bad.
Oh yeah, and The Happening.
Oh, God.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I thought, did you think of The Happening, by the way, when the plants start going in this? I'm like, oh no, not The Happening again. You know?
Just fucking... Oh, Marky Mark shows up. What? No!
Hayden just fucking kills himself right there. End of movie.
Did you just call him Hayden?
I did.
Damn it, Dan. Jaden.
Hayden, Jaden, both wooden, both annoying
suck.
bitchy kids.
Alright, let's wrap up our video here. Let's do our star rating. I'm going to go ahead and start first. 1 star. That is simple. In case you're new to the show, we use the Netflix scale of solid stars only, and then we go up to 5.
And we can't go below 1, son of a bitch.
So this one, I walked in and I was really trying to talk myself out of naysaying it from the get-go, and I wanted to be entertained. Because initially when I saw the trailer, I was intrigued. To be honest, I was intrigued when I saw the first trailer.
Yeah, I was with you. I thought to myself, you know what, that could be good. That could be good. And oh, it's M. Night Shyamalan. Maybe there'll be something interesting about it that we didn't, initially see.
A twist.
I've seen. I don't care if the twist is good. Then fuck, twist away, sir.
Twists in movies can be great.
I think this movie would be better as a rental on DVD with less quality. Because it would blur the shitty effects.
I wouldn't
recommend it, but if you felt the small desire like I did to see it, just wait to rent.
I felt no desire, but what are you gonna do? There's nothing else to see. So
I don't like giving 1 star. I really don't. Just because that sounds like, oh, well, fuck that movie. You give it 1 star. But I cannot give this one 2. Because...
honestly, it'd be 1.5, but I can't.
I went into it actually expecting something. I thought that it was going to be at least I thought this was going to be a 3-star movie, really. I wasn't expecting anything outrageous, but I was expecting Will Smith and Jaden Smith hanging out in the jungle, kicking some animals' asses.
And as a matter
and so with swords and shit. And then Will Smith stays on the ship the whole time.
Exactly.
And just yells at Jaden for doing things.
We didn't even talk about that. That he doesn't even do anything to sit around and boss Jaden around. I mean...
He's not even that old yet, so...
I mean, this wasn't Will Smith and Jaden. This could have been any 2 people.
Yeah. It could have been better if it was like Harrison Ford and somebody else.
And Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, God.
Hey, don't knock that dynamic. That actually worked. It's not their fault the movie sucked.
Yeah, alright.
Anyway, 1 star. I expected a little bit more, probably like 2 stars, but...
Yeah, to quote Bobby, I would have expected a 2-star suck out of this.
2-star suck.
But what are you going to do? I think we've said what needs to be said. It was terrible and boring and a waste of time.
Like I said, the biggest twist for me was what a disappointment it fucking was, but I didn't have to wait for the end for it to show up.
Yeah,
Right.
Just about 20 minutes in or so. Not even.
When I'm lost within the first 10 minutes, that's not good. That is not good. I was way more interested in my popcorn at that moment.
Right.
That, you know what? That was the biggest, letdown for me was when I ran out of mics. I was just like,
I gotta pay attention now.
Yeah.
Shit. Alright, well, that will do it for our video portion of this. You can check out our podcast. We'll go in greater detail. We wanted to do spoiler-free, but there's nothing to spoil.
Yeah, I guarantee you didn't learn much about anything for what we said that's different from the trailer, other than the fact that, oh, look who finally showed up.
You son of a bitch!
Other than the fact that it was bad. I mean, that's spoiler alert, it's bad.
Yeah.
Pretty much all we can do.
Save your time and your money and do something else. Go to the park.
Read a book.
Eat a hot dog.
Masturbate.
Alright, guys. Thanks for checking it out.
No, see you later.
How?
Bye, guys.